Live from downtown Memphis, this is the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Chris Vernon.
CityMedia.com. It's Chris Vernon Show. Welcome. It's a Friday, March 28, 2025 edition of the show. Today on the show, this is not the show that we had all planned out just 25 minutes ago. Things have changed dramatically for the local franchise as Taylor Jenkins is no longer the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. As shocking to us as it is to you, we will go through all of it. Grizzlies lost a game in Oklahoma City last night that had incredible repercussions, it appears. Beyond that, the Sweet 16 was underway last night. We'll talk about the 4 games that took place, and we'll go through the 4 that are going on tonight. Get you ready for the weekend ahead. Alan Boston, our favorite college basketball wise guy, will join us and give us picks for the weekend. We'll go through all the news and notes of the day, but we got one big story we got to talk about. We'll do it. It's a Friday. It's beautiful out. Smile. Let's do it. Turn it up. Everybody's having a good day. All right, we got a ton of stuff to get to on the show, and as I said, everything that we had planned went to hell about 25 minutes ago because Devin Walker and Roser barreled in here. I was getting all my stuff together, and they barreled in here, and they were yelling, what is going on? What is happening? And they were running to their computers because word started to filter around the office that Taylor Jenkins has been fired. And I mean, my phone was on silent because my phone was on silent still from when I recorded the mismatch earlier today. Now, of course, I recorded an entire episode of the mismatch with Kirk Goldsberry, and then this happened. So then I had to go amend that, whatever. But at that point, my phone's still on silent. I looked down at my phone. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. I had like 48 text messages. And not like a group chat that just kept going. It was just a line. And I was like, oh, my God, I got to go through all of this. And I was like, what happened? What happened? And obviously you guys had told me. And so then it's like, all right, you got to process this. Like, what just happened? This is out of nowhere to us. Never in a billion years did we consider that we would have a different head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies when there's 10 games left in the season or whatever. We'll get to all of it. Before I get to anything, I welcome John Roser to the show. John Roser, a.k.a. the Cologne Ranger, the Body Spray Band, the Senior Sack, Johnny Backpole, Johnny Bearcat, the Grim Roser, John Asparagus, Johnny Neckcarb, John Lance. He's John Quadrin, he's Dr. Thunderboo, he's Yogi Roser.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hello, John.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? That sounded weird. Hey, what's up?
Looks like somebody put on his quarter zip.
I did.
Is it you? Is it you? Are you going to be in the quarter zip gang that is down there on the sidelines? Oh, we may have a rat amongst us.
I counted in the hallways. They have the pictures, of the team pictures, the photo and all that. Each of the last 3 years, you can count the number of quarter zips, and it's like just goes up.
It's like it's the inverse of the mid-range game.
Yeah, I think there's like
the mid-range game has gone down.
Right.
The quarter zip has gone up.
I think there's like 42 of them last year. Like
Is that
42
right?
42 quarter zips. Yeah.
Devin Walker's here. He's the microphone mangler. Senor Quasadilla. Mr. Math, Navajo Joe. The reporter, the photographer. He sure is. Walker 93. Well,
what's the function? Hey. Yeah, we ran here all together. It was wild.
It was wild. Yeah, because we didn't know. We
were
didn't have our phones.
Joking around about something going on in there.
Yeah, we didn't have our phones.
And somebody said something. It was like, yo, like, hey, Taylor just got fired. We said, stop playing.
Jenna goes, look at your phones. And we're like,
we're dead serious.
So we ran in here.
We ran in here.
To get our phones.
And my phone actually you had 48. I had about 20, 30.
I was in absolute stunned disbelief, as was everybody that texted me. This is crazy. We're at the very end of the season, right? This just doesn't happen, especially with the playoff team. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so got to process all of this. The first thing is people are inevitably going to go, what happened? What happened? What did he do? Right? That's the Now, I understand that from the outside looking in. Once upon a time, Ime Udoka was no longer the coach of the Boston Celtics, right, for nefarious reasons or whatever. So we are trained to believe, and especially when something this crazy happens at the end of the season, it's almost like something must have gone down. Like, what happened? Was there some kind of problem? Did he do something? Like, how do you get fired with 10 games left in the season, right? Let me just go ahead and set that one aside, okay? Bro, Taylor Jenkins is a Boy Scout, okay? Like, Taylor Jenkins didn't do anything to get himself fired that is not basketball related. Let me just be clear about that, right? Like, they made a basketball decision on this. The thing that Taylor Jenkins did, that the reason he doesn't have a job today is because not only can they not beat anybody good, they get smoked by everybody good. That's it. And if you know, like the turnover numbers, still high. The defensive rating has gone, you know what I mean? Wrong way.
Plummeting.
Yeah, they can't stop anybody. We were texting during the Utah game, and I go, oh my God, I can't believe we held them under 70. Utah! Probably lose Utah if Colin Sexton and the rest of them play in the second half. Like, it's gone. Look, this is not something, anybody that pays attention to us every day, we are talking about every game. 3 weeks ago, I did a whole show on the 5 stages of grief. And we were like, we're down to acceptance. Like, we've been through all of them. Yeah. The last one is acceptance, and we don't want to accept that we're not any good. But as people that live and die with it and watch it every night, we have no wins against anybody with a pulse, and a lot of them are against teams that actively try to lose. You're about to go into the playoffs. Guess what you have to play in the playoffs? This is what we've said. I swear every other day we have said this since January, which is you got to play somebody good in the playoffs. So this whole not being able to beat anybody good and losing all those games by double digits against, like, we were in here like, hey, maybe we can latch on to that. When we lost the Knicks game, it was like, hey, at least it took OG Anunoby hitting a 3. Like, it went the wrong way to where they weren't able to beat anybody. And now go look at the schedule. Not only are you loaded up with, you're playing virtually all good teams or teams that want to win the rest of the way. And then you've got to get to the playoffs, and hopefully you can secure yourself a spot in the playoffs and it not go tragically wrong. And then you're going to have to play somebody good then, right? I cannot believe that on Friday, March 18th or 28th, that this is happening. if you want to criticize for the timing of it all, it feels like they kept on like hoping they'd get their mojo back, hoping that something would turn around. And then at some point, and maybe it was when it was 99-99, and then you lose by 20 last night, you sat there and you went, this is not turning around. Like, we've given it a long time. It's not turning around. Like, we need, there's been all these moments where you've said, could this be the jolt? Could this be the jolt? Could this be the jolt? Now, you're not going to get me, and look, there's for sure going to be people out there. I criticized Taylor Jenkins a couple weeks ago during that whole stretch where we lost to New York, we lost to San Antonio, we lost to Atlanta, all those like close games at the end, right? And I was critical of him, and I said, look, I think, and I said at that time, I think this guy has done a very good job here over his tenure. I think Taylor Jenkins is a good basketball coach. I've said that over and over again. I think this year, he has not done a good job. As I said, you can go find the clip, and people were like spreading that around. I got in trouble for it. Okay? So, and I cited like different things that have happened, and when you've got like mix and match, we're nowhere close to figuring out what the rotation is.
Yeah.
There's been all kinds of errors at the end of games, and you have frustrated stars. Ja Morant has been a frustrated star the entire year. You've seen it. Everybody's seen it. And now he's been unavailable. Now, so there's some things that Taylor should catch a break on, right? Like, Taylor was the 2 seed 2 years in a row. His team got ravaged last year, so you can't hold that against him. And this year, for the majority of the season, they have been right up there at the very top, certainly a home court advantage team. But anybody that has been an observer of this has seen like that team that was like right there in the top 4 or whatever, and you see other teams, and I'm watching them on a regular basis, and we're sitting there going, there's really nobody. Like, when you get to the point that there's nobody you want to play in the playoffs, how many times have the three of us had this discussion? I don't want to play any of them. Why? Because they're all good. And anybody that's paid attention knows we haven't been good in. When is the last time we were good?
You felt good or
good?
Good? You felt good. I think I felt good after the next game.
After the what?
The Knicks won.
We lost.
Milwaukee
The Knicks
on the
lost,
road.
Close, Milwaukee.
That's when fans did. I don't really think much of Milwaukee, though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it good? Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe the Houston game, Thursday night, the TNT game here where we won.
That's what, February? January.
Yeah.
When Hasseltine yelled no.
Look at the schedule. Last time I felt good.
Yeah.
Boston? At the beginning of the season? When Ja Morant was cracking?
Probably, yeah. I'll probably go Milwaukee. I mean, every day I'm kind of like optimistic, but when you went on the stretch where you beat Houston, Milwaukee back to back, I felt better. But
We didn't feel bad after the Cleveland game at the road.
I think Jenkins is falling on the sword for this.
100%.
And because it's the only, you cannot change the roster. So you have, if you want to change, look, we all have, and we're not talking out of school now that they've gotten rid of the coach. We have talked every single day on the show about the trajectory.
For sure.
Every single day. So we're not like, it's not like, oh, well, things haven't been like, every day, we're like, what is wrong? What is happening?
Yeah.
The team is not good.
Yeah, now it's
and look, they beat us down so bad. How many times in our group text have we said, I don't even want to watch this?
Wow,
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So look, dude, it's a crazy thing to do with 10 games left in the season.
Yeah.
We admit that.
The timing is wild.
And most people just accept, like, this is the deal, right? Us three, when we went through the 5 stages of denial, we got all the way down to acceptance, and then we hit it. And we just said, all right, we accept. Like, we're not good.
Like
We're
you
not
said,
good.
you can like for him it's like okay, yeah, the roster is like the roster, whatever the roster is. But it's like I feel like we're talking about this, Roser. Like, yeah, Taylor led him to the water to teach him how to drink and teach him how to be this, and that. But now it's like whoever the next person is going to have to be like, okay, now it's time to be pros, bro. It's like every I feel like every championship organization goes through this, where you have to go through a step of somebody teaches them how to be, got them through the rookie years, through all the bumps and the bruises, and then they have a situation. Then you go through the part where somebody comes in, and now you can finally be what you want to be. And I feel like this is where we're living right now.
And he didn't have John Morant. Look, if you want to go number one, why this team has not had the success, it's been a common trope that I've expressed to you 1,000 times. Let's talk about horses before we talk about jockeys, right? In the end, one of the major reasons that you have had this inability to beat good teams as well is because you don't have your best player on a regular basis. End of story. If Taylor Jenkins would have had John Morant for 70-something games, maybe it's a different deal. Yeah. But that's the reality of the situation, and they haven't. And I'm not putting it on Ja. I'm saying, like, he did not have his. If I'm Taylor Jenkins, I'm looking at it and go, bro, I'm starting Scottie Pippen Jr. on the road to Oklahoma. Like, you know what I mean? It is kind of ironic to get fired after the Oklahoma City game. It's like, if you play Oklahoma City without John Morant, everybody in the free world knows you're getting beat by 15. Like, that was our expectation. Right. You're not winning that game, okay? So the crazy thing is, very rarely do you get fired after a game, like right after a game, that nobody in the free world expected you to win. I think it was a breaking point of, hey, now you're about to go look at this stretch. You're about to play the Lakers. You're about to play the Celtics. You're about to play the Warriors, right? You're playing these teams, and you're about to come in front of your home fans, and you're going to get beat in all of them. That's how we felt. Everybody feels that way. Everybody. We're like, maybe we could get one of them. But so that is the point. And it's like, do you just allow that to be? Or do you try to throw a Hail Mary at the end and say, here's the one thing we could possibly change here, and maybe it will shake things up. It's a crazy thing to do.
Well, yeah, because I think
shocking the system a little bit,
you don't even have to give us truth serum. I don't think that the Grizzlies are not good against the good teams because of their coaching. I think it's a roster thing.
Right.
We don't think the roster's good enough.
And no one is ever going to blame the roster. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying this is the way. This is the way organizations work.
But there is like what? They're not going to blame the roster, or the fans aren't, because there's a good portion of the fans that also believe the roster's not good enough.
Right.
That the roster's gotten worse over the last couple of years.
What I'm saying is, if we're sitting around going, things have gone horribly.
Right.
Things have gone the wrong way. Then the guy that builds the roster is going to go, bro, it's not the roster.
Oh, of course not, because then he's saying it's his fault.
And the coach is going to be like, bro, look, I got freaking 2 rookies starting for me, and then I just benched, Zach Edey, and now he's not starting for me anymore. We just lost Brandon Clark for the season, and it's like, so again, right? It's like if things aren't going, you're trying to salvage this. Here's what we know.
Right.
If Taylor Jenkins was on that sideline, this is what we know. And again, I'm not blaming the coach either. We know the product that it is and has been for the last 3 months, right?
Yes.
We know that.
We know that.
And we also, all of us would be considered extreme homers when it comes to this and want to see glass half full. None of us believed. None of us. We talk about it literally every day. We talk about not wanting to face anybody in the playoffs. We don't have that choice. So to me, it's a crazy thing to do, but I look at it and I go, what's the alternative?
Yes.
We're gonna throw the ball all over the yard,
right,
and we're gonna be terrible on defense, and we're not gonna beat anybody good.
This is the only Hail Mary they have.
This is the only thing you can try.
Yeah, see if you can shock the system a little bit.
I think, and
we'll see how they come out.
I was interested.
Yeah, we'll see.
They did not put in the press release who's going to take over.
No, that's where part what I mentioned. I want at this point it has to be the next person that you have to believe that can get you
It's for sure.
to bridge you to that
and
side.
again, I know nothing. I promise you, I don't. I will be absolutely stunned if they do not put that Tomas.
Yeah, it
Dude,
would be.
They
he
got
filled
rid
in
of
for
They got
Taylor.
rid of Taylor's whole staff, bro, to bring these folks in.
Yeah,
Right. And this Tomas guy, who they obviously
his
thought.
offense.
They brought his offense, and also he has head coaching experience.
Yeah, he has.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're always going to want somebody that's got head coaching experience. Again, the other thing is, and it's going to be interesting, what players say behind closed doors versus what they say in public. Like, he has had a incredible relationship and he has had an incredible relationship and he has had a very good working relationship with the 3 stars, right? I've said this 100,000 times. This is an old Hubie Brown adage. The most important thing you can have is you got to have your best player on your side, okay? Ja has been frustrated all year long, and there has been this weird, like, here's the new offense, but here is the, right? Here is what's best for Ja Morant, and here's what's best for the group, and now I got to try to figure out. And that's going to be the interesting thing is if the guy that brought the offense is now the one in charge, right? What kind of effect does this have? Do things get changed up? Like, we will see if they are jolted or not. But I think that what's happened is they've kept waiting for a turning point to believe that this is not just a lost cause and that accepting you know what I mean? This is the fighting off, as we have talked about with the 5 stages of grief, this is fighting off the last stage, which is accepting you're not good enough. And so at some point you just say, you know what, I'm not going to accept it. And in fact, I'm going to change the coach to prove that it's not what it appears to be. Because if we are being fair, they have gotten actively worse. This team, even without Morant, this team, even without guys, right, was still a team that their trajectory defensively was going the right way. They still had a very good offense. Like, all of this stuff was going on. And the turnover thing has never gotten solved, and the defense has absolutely cratered.
Yeah.
It has.
They've been bottom 3rd in the league since the All-Star break, defense.
And in fairness,
And they were top 7 in the league
they
before
didn't
that.
have dramatically different personnel when their
No,
defense was
that's
not
true.
that bad.
And defense is
right?
effort. And defense is effort.
They
Yeah.
did not have a dramatically different. And here's where I got worried, and you guys know. They had 3 days off, and they came out and they gave up 22 points in the first 4 minutes against Utah.
Yeah.
22!
Yeah.
You theoretically just fixed things, right? Like, you had 3 days. You had 3 days between you getting your ass kicked by the Clippers and playing Utah. You had 3 days. And you came out and the first thing you did was give up 22 points in the first 4 minutes of that game. Yeah. And I said, bro, please, God, let Will Hardy start subbing now. Because otherwise, we are in a world of crap. We just gave up 22 points in 4 minutes to the Jazz.
Yeah, spooky.
So
But, I mean, the thing is, Taylor's supposed to be the defensive guy. That's the thing, though. Like, that's the wild part, right?
Right.
He's a defensive guy.
Right.
Like, we've had a top 5 defense the last 3 years.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
all
so
strange.
I'm just like, it's all just weird, bro.
It's strange.
It's strange. It's weird, but
And what does it do to the team? This can go one of 2 ways.
it can really go shock you with some energy, or
That's
it's like,
it.
yo, are we gonna be gone too? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's either are we gonna have to do this together, y'all, or everybody's looking around, looking at each other like, so.
It's such a shock to the system. It's either going to be, why did you fire our coach? This wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Or I think your desired outcome is going to be, hey, guys are going to look around and go, there's nobody to blame.
Exactly. It's only us now, bro.
That's it.
It's only us now.
We can't blame him.
Yeah.
We can't blame anybody. There's nobody to blame.
Yeah.
This puts it 100% on the players.
It's time for us to be leaders, bro. The ones that speak up in these huddles, bro. All right, let's do it.
Right.
It's us now. Like you talk about all the time how like sometimes you need to hear from your peers. You know what I'm saying? You need to hear from your peers that you're not doing your job to make you wake up and kind of show effort. And now it's like one of those situations, like you have a situation like this, you shock the system, you hear everybody talking about it, it's buzzing. We 9 games away from the season ending. We on the cup of the playoffs. It's like, yo, you look around like, yo, all right, team meeting, bro. Let's talk about this. TJ's gone now, bro. We got to pick this shit up, but we got to be gone too.
Right.
We're going to be at the 1, 2, 3 Cabo too. So I hope it's a positive shock to him because
I mean, this is where
It usually is.
This is, and I will say, this is where I stand on this. What was the alternative?
it's going to happen now or happen this summer. Which one was going to happen?
You know what I
It
mean?
was definitely happening this summer.
gonna
We
either
all
happen
knew
now or
that. We
happen
all
this
knew
summer.
that it was going to happen this
Your
summer.
whole staff from last year's gone.
And you kept waiting for it to change.
Yeah.
I honestly think because he is such a good guy and has done such a good job that he was given in what you would say is probably too long of a rope in retrospect. They kept I think they wanted him. I think they wanted this team to like turn it around, get their mojo back. And then at some point it became like the breaking point. And it was like, bro, they're not like this is gone. We've talked about it literally every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
We have said. And again, I'm not sure they would have won as many games if their coach was somebody else. I know there's a lot of fans out there. Fans are torn on this, right? There's a lot of fans that just blame the coach for everything. Well, now you don't have anybody to blame anymore, right? Yeah. But I also think that he has done a good job during his Grizzlies tenure. For sure. And I think he's a good
overall,
I think he's a good NBA coach who will win a lot of games somewhere else.
Oh, he is
bro.
absolutely going to get a job somewhere. He is not going to be unemployed for long. He'll have a new job next season.
It's a part of your story, bro. It's a part of your DVD, bro.
That's it.
Like from the Celtics to the Warriors to every championship, like it's a part of the story.
That's it.
But like, so it's
What's so weird is there has never been any public and or, if we want to say private, that we would have an awareness of. There's coach front office friction all the time.
Yeah.
They have always been pull the same rope.
Yeah.
Like that is the one thing that they have organizationally been everybody pulling the same rope and on the same page and like open dialogue about the way they do things and whatever else. Like I have been around all manner of combatants when it comes to coach versus general manager. I mean, look,
seen it a ton.
QB Brown, who I absolutely love and I reference all the time. QB Brown got so mad at me one time. He's like, I asked him a question in a press conference, and he's like, oh, you want to be a wise guy, huh? You want to be a wise guy. Now, keep in mind, I'm like under 25 years old. I'm like 22 probably. And QB Brown, who I have this great respect for, I'm looking at him and I'm like, what? I was like, no, I'm not. And he's like, I know what you're doing. I'm like, bro, I don't know what is going on. The question was about how he had inserted Bonzi Wells into the starting lineup for Mike Miller. Okay? They made that switch. He starts yelling at me in front of everybody. I mean, it's like at that point, especially as a young kid, I was like humiliated. Like, what? Like, why? And why does the coach hate me? And like, right? He thought I was like planted or something. So Stacy Mitch, who's the PR director at the time, Stacy comes and grabs me. This is before the next game. And she's like, QB wants to talk to you. So I go back there, and I go back to the side, and says, he's like, I just wanted to apologize. And I was like, for what? And he's like, the other night when I called you out or whatever, he's like, I thought you knew. And I was like, knew what? Like, evidently, him and Jerry had like a knockdown drag out about this. Jerry West. This had been a huge point of contention. Jerry's like, play Bonzi Wells. He's sticking with Mike Miller. Now I come in, ask the question about it, and it just sets him off. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Set him off. He was mad as hell, right? They end up fighting so much that Hubie just says, I'm done. Health reasons. He just walked away. He just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Fratello and Jerry. Bang. Finally, he gets rid of Fratello, right? But they butted heads like that. Lionel in the front office, especially when Para bought the team and it was a new front office. Lionel's up in my face screaming at me about analytics in the front office and whatever, something I've said on the radio and whatever else. And it was all because of tension that was going on between him and the front office. Dave Yeager and the front office. Big tension. Kicks Hollinger out of a practice. He's the vice president of the team. Tells him, get out of here. Fizdale butted head. Like, every coach I have covered with the Grizzlies, there has been something, whether publicly or privately, where I have known of the head coach and the front office being combative towards each other.
Yeah.
That thing, and a lot of it was that it's a lot different now than it used to be. There was a lot of, back in the day, there were a lot more coaches that were, I'll coach my team, leave me alone, nerds.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that anymore. The nerds are part of the team.
It's hand in hand now.
Yes.
It's holding arms, yeah.
Arm in arm, pulling the same rope, all that kind of stuff, right? But what I'll say is, it's a very long-winded way of the history of the Memphis Grizzlies. Not one time. Not once. That's what makes today insanely shocking. There's not one time that any of these guys, I have seen every one of these guys get hired. I have seen every one of these guys get fired. Every one of them. Not one time have I been surprised. Not once.
Yeah.
Until today.
Until today.
Because there was always something. Because it's like,
you saw the writing on the wall with a lot of guys.
all of them.
All of them.
There was always something, right? Like by the time, and most of them were messy.
Yeah.
Hubie was done with that crap. He didn't want to listen to him. Fratello and Jerry, bang, like butted heads, hardcore.
It was like play Rudy Gay more, and he's like, Rudy Gay doesn't know how to play basketball.
Right.
I'm not playing a rookie.
Yeah.
And then Lionel butted heads.
Champagne taste on a beer budget.
Champagne taste on a beer budget. Yeager butted heads. Yeager, by the way,
They wanted him to play young players, and he was
did not get fired. He just left to take another job.
yeah.
They didn't even fire him.
Well, Yeager
but
also-
we knew it was over.
So, because Yeager would also publicly complain about them not drafting Rodney Hood.
Right.
And instead they drafted Jordan Adams, and he loved Rodney Hood. Yeah.
Shut up, Rodney.
There was never any of that, right? There's never any kind of public or private combativeness that I can remember with this. And that's to their credit, right, to have a good relationship. On the other hand, it has led to the most bizarre firing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, everybody, it's weird. It's super weird.
Nobody can believe this.
This is another question I want to ask. I think we talked about this before the show even started. Because you don't do something like this. You don't shock everything like this without talking to the dudes that's on that banner outside.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
like
that
you got to have a sit down and let them know. Hopefully they didn't find out at the same time we did.
Don't you think this makes it infinitely more likely that Ja Morant plays tomorrow night? I do.
I think so.
I
yes.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. And
It's almost
I
like
thought it was that way when they said he was day to day. I was like, okay.
And tomorrow's Murray State night. I'm just joking.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, tomorrow. I had a lot of people from Murray State hit me up saying they're coming down here tomorrow.
Oh,
They're like,
that's a good
they're like,
reason.
They're like, we'll be in town
I
tomorrow.
mean,
And
it's
was like,
Murray
wait,
State
what?
night. It's the Lakers. And look, in the end, this is like you got to be band of brothers thing. There's nobody.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
There's nobody to blame, bro.
We're just looking at each other now.
I tell you this. Hey, I'll tell you this. Like they need somebody to go in there and obviously it cannot be Tomas if he's the one that is going to take over the team. But years ago, the aforementioned Hubie, he walked in there and Earl Watson tells the story about how he walked in there and he's like, there's a guy who just had to pick his kids out of school, who just had to put his house up for sale, and a whole staff that's leaving with him. Every one of them. Because you guys weren't good enough. He got fired. He got fired. This guy's going to have to take his kids out of school. This guy's going to have to put his house up for sale. His whole staff, they're all going to have to find new jobs, whatever, because you're not good enough. And just laid into him, right? And Earl Watson says, he looks over at the guy next to him. He's like, this dude is mean.
I mean,
This dude is mean. But that's the thing. Somebody needs to go be mean. Like, because I do think that there could be that reaction. Because I do think up and down that roster, I think over his tenure, he has been as liked by his players as any.
Yeah.
He has been as liked.
For sure.
But here's the thing. Bro, it doesn't matter how much they like you if they don't play for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And they stopped guarding. End of story. They gave up 22 points in 4 minutes to the freaking Jazz.
Yeah.
Who can you stop if you can't stop the Jazz? They don't even want to score.
Like, they're making a mistake and hitting shots.
Right.
They're like, yo, wait.
And so, look, I am on record. There's a lot of people out there that have never thought Taylor Jenkins is good. I think those people are goofy. I think he is a good coach. I think this team stopped being able to get better.
He did what he had to do. He did.
Yes.
He's on, like I said, he's a part of the story.
Yes.
He's for sure. When this story is written, this Grizzlies story with Dez, John, Jaren, Taylor Jenkins is a part of the story.
I am also one of the opinion.
The positive part of the
Bro,
story.
you can do worse.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
You can
So
do worse.
don't tell me. I've watched every Grizzlies coach that came through here. This guy had the 2 seed twice with a very young roster.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And he started 2 rookies the majority of this season, and not 2 awesome rookies, even though everybody in the world overrates them.
Yeah.
Like, they are.
You could do worse.
No, one of them is a 39th pick in the draft who's been a big surprise, and the other one is a slow-footed center,
Yeah.
right? That doesn't fit the kind of offense you run now and the kind of defense you run now. Like, it doesn't fit. And so if I'm him, I'm going like, bro, what? Fire me? But I think it's the only thing they probably think they can do to jolt the season and to save it from the inevitable end.
Where we're
Like,
going.
bro, look, we have been and we've seen it. So there's nobody that could accuse us of anything different. You can go back and watch every show we've done after all these. I have put up the grumpy.
I held that joint up one show, bro. That's how sad I was.
Look, all right, here's all you need to know. From the outside looking into Memphis, people are like, what? They're like the 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
What do people expect? I have put up that grumpy Grizzly more times than you could ever imagine since January 1st. Because we know, bro.
Yeah, this is not.
It's been a long time. We know what a good team is, and we can't beat anybody good. They don't beat anybody. They lose every time they play anybody with a pulse. And it's been this way for a long time. And unfortunately, you have to play somebody with a pulse down the stretch of this season. You know,
starting with this homestand.
I think they probably looked at it. This is what I'd guess. I think they probably looked at it and they went, like what we were talking about, like, dude, you could really be in the play-in. And then have to face AD, maybe, after you lose a first game to Minnesota or something. Next thing you know, your whole playoffs is riding on whether or not you could beat Anthony Davis, a guy that might have 40 and 20 against you. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. Like, that's a real thing I would think about. Like, again, they haven't beaten anybody good since what, February 1st?
Yeah,
is that right?
The New York John.
Okay, we lost New York.
Why do I keep saying New York, bro?
I don't know.
Oh, because the last thing I remember is OG not hitting the shot. My bad.
But it's
I
like,
erased that from my memory.
but it's like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the last good team the Grizzlies beat?
We see
Milwaukee.
Utah, no. Miami, no. Utah, no.
That's what
Phoenix,
I tell everybody.
New
I mean,
Orleans, no.
do you think Phoenix is good?
No.
Dallas is not good. Phoenix is not good.
Milwaukee
Orlando? You
at
think Orlando's
Milwaukee,
good?
February 2nd.
Bro, we beat Orlando at the buzzer
Okay, we still
after being up 19 in the
No,
third quarter.
Orlando was not good at the time.
Milwaukee.
No.
Huh?
Milwaukee, February 2nd.
Houston, January 30th.
I mean, that's 2 months.
I'd probably say Houston
out
because I actually don't think Milwaukee's good.
Okay, so
Okay,
for
2 days before that.
okay, so for anybody out there that is wondering why this happened, that's what I would tell you. That's what I tell you. The reason Taylor Jenkins wildly got fired at this point in the season is because it's been 2 months since they've beaten anybody good. And they know.
You got ran out last night. You got ran out by the Clippers. You got ran out by the Cavaliers at home.
Like they're not even close.
Again.
Right,
You had the close one against
like forget
the Knicks.
to that point, Roser.
You're getting run out.
Not only are you not able to beat good teams, you're not even competitive with good
The
teams.
crazy thing ever is that
Right.
Cavs game at home. As you look up at the Cavs game, dude, it was a 9. We lost by 9, dude. That was
Oh, we were down by 25.
felt like we lost by 30.
Of course.
Yeah.
No chance of winning that
No.
game. No.
Yeah.
And so that's the deal.
And that's also let me know who's going to, like, this situation is going to let me know, too, we talk about who's the leader. Like, we're going to find out who's the leader of the group. Because now, like I said,
I do think it's a very weird game to get fired after. Because they would have never, they had no chance in that game without Ja anyway.
And you got back at like 1 a.m.
You have
2
zero
a.m.
chance of beating beating that team without Ja. You probably have a 5% chance of beating them with Ja.
5% is crazy.
Okay.
Come on,
2.
give us more than that. Bro.
I thought I was high.
Yeah.
2% chance.
With 12, come on, give us more than 5%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on,
6.
Vernon.
6. All right. Look, you're not beating and like, bro, Desmond Bain has got to
Hit the
play
rim.
good against somebody good. Yeah. That's fine, bro, that you have these nice games against Utah and Bum State, but can we please have a good game against somebody worth a crap? Because like against Cleveland, abominable.
Okay, so
it's just so bad.
To your point, Desmond Bain in the month of March, 45% from the field and 41% from 3.
Those are great.
However, in the 4 games against good teams, twice against OKC, and then the Clippers and then the Cavs, he is 28.5% from the field and 23% from 3. So
28% from the field.
28.5%.
That's like that's my boy. Shout out.
We're rounding down.
Damn, not even around, Damn, not even benefit. Oh, one more time.
Grumpy Grizzly,
One more
no,
time.
he's coming out.
One more time.
Oh.
Come on, bro. Bring it out.
I thought he was getting Edie, too.
Roser,
No, he's not getting to eat the.
you're the Grim Roser.
Oh, get
Bring
your.
it out.
Oh, it's perfect time to bring them out now.
Perfect time.
Yeah, this is I will always remember you.
Why did you throw in always?
What?
I will remember you.
Oh, it's not. What is the word?
Get up on your Sarah McLachlan.
Remember you.
Why'd I put always in there? Why'd I put always?
I don't know why you put always in there. All right,
got hair
Roser
product in my
came
eye.
as the Grim Roser. Look, we've talked for months now. Like, so this, like, if you're trying to do something to save this thing, I don't know if it can be saved. I don't know. But I know what was happening. And we all, if we're being honest, know what was happening. This team went in the tank defensively. This team never solved its turnover numbers. And this team can't beat anybody with a pulse.
Okay, tell me what happened last night. I'm serious. Like, you
What
tell
are
me.
you-
No.
Are you being serious, bro?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Roser.
No, because there's a real question here.
This is what it felt
Did
like
we-
happened.
Was
no,
it-
it felt like
Did
Oklahoma City was like, all right, let's beat their ass now.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Did it
Yes.
feel like, did we actually play well, or was it
It didn't feel
OKC
like
was
that to
screwing around?
me,
Or
Roser.
was
Yes, it
OKC
did.
screwing around?
Yes,
and
it
they
Scottie
were
did.
like,
Pippen
all right.
played the game of his life until the second half, started turning the ball over.
No, that is exactly how it felt.
I think, Dev, you kind of just proved Chris's point right there.
It's exactly how it felt.
I got hair product in my eye.
It was 99 hair product.
Oh, this show is cooked.
Keep talking, bro.
No,
got hair product in your eye. He's got the grumpy grizzly, and
who
I'm the
was the
grim
guy?
Roser.
Javonte Davis.
Javonte Davis.
We're falling apart.
As soon as Javonte Davis got beat up, he said he had hair product in his eye. As soon as we start talking about the Oklahoma City game, Devin says he's
gets
got hair product in his eye.
I really like
Gotta be
real deal. I can't look at my eyes; they're like red right now. But yeah,
Bro.
go ahead. Let's talk about the Oklahoma City game.
By the way, can we real quickly before we get back to that, since you were talking about it, last night, my son went to like some, I think it was a soccer game or something. It was some event at school. Like he wanted to just go hang out with his friends, whatever. Bro, that joker came home and his whole face was like swollen up and his eyes were like water. I have never seen this much pollen in Memphis in all the years I've been. Every every car is yellow.
Dude,
mine's
I
yellow.
washed my car 2
Everything-
days
every-
ago, and it's covered now. It sucks.
We had to go throw this dude in the shower last night, bro. Go shower it all. Like he has this terrible reaction to it. He has terrible allergies, like that. But this is extreme. I walked out this morning and there's the trash cans are all yellow. The cars are all yellow. I'm like, what is going on? Like I've been here for a long time, and the pollen sucks here.
Yeah.
But what is happening? It's like friggin' pollen fest outside.
It's like Coldplay song.
Huh?
It's Coldplay.
What is?
What is?
It's all yellow.
Oh, yellow. I know that joint.
You know,
I know that joint. I used to play that joint on
And it was
Guitar
all
Hero.
yellow.
That was my song, Guitar Hero.
on Guitar Hero.
I used to play yellow.
You put
I used to
Coldplay's
smash
Yellow.
that song.
Let's go. It's a
I
great
used to go
song.
ham.
It's a great song.
Shout out Coldplay, man. But no, back to the Oklahoma City game.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
They were like, all right,
All right, let's
let's
play.
go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and,
totally
let's go ahead and bury these dudes.
And it just so happened it coincided with when they brought SGA back in the game that it was like,
Bro,
all
he
right.
had 37 points in 34 minutes.
Damn, that's tough.
Do you know he has, they posted this last night? That was his 25th 35 or more game
I
this
hate
year.
him so much.
The next highest is 17.
So
Crazy.
I hate him so much, bro. I
You
hate
do?
how good he is. Like when he hit Rosie, you didn't see the game, bro. At one point, this dude hit a step back over Zach Edey and over the backboard.
No, I was watching a win.
How did Gigi play well?
The Bulls?
GG did play well.
The
GG
Bulls?
was great.
Did you play well?
The Bulls win was
won, too.
awesome.
The Bulls
Yeah,
win
it
was
was.
Josh
It was
Giddey's
good.
amazing.
But,
So Gigi play well, Roser?
GG
Can you put that thing down when you talk about Gigi?
Wait,
please?
the hustle?
Yeah, we won.
Oh, you guys had a game last night.
113-102. We beat the Austin Spurs. We played spoiler. They're fighting for
Oh,
the
you
one
played
seed.
spoiler.
Played spoiler. Yeah, played spoiler. They're probably not getting the one
How
seed
many
now.
did GG Jackson have?
24.
Oh, okay.
9 of 11 from the field.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
GG!
I like that.
Yeah, Gigi. Shout out
like
Gigi,
that.
man. But yeah, the Oklahoma City game was not pretty. I would say their crowd was amazing too, by the way. I
SGA,
want
by
our
the
fans to be
way.
like that again.
Hey, get off their nuts.
What? What are you talking about?
Get off their
Their
nuts.
fans were electric.
Yeah.
Get off their nuts, bro.
No pun intended.
Get off their nuts. I'm tired of hearing about it, bro.
You talking about hearing about the Thunder's fans?
Yeah.
I just want. Hey, this is the message to our fans.
What?
I need y'all to be on some rowdy-ish tomorrow, bro. Y'all happy now? I need y'all to go to Wet Willie's tomorrow. Crank up Saturday night.
Get you call cabs.
Pipe up tomorrow night, bro. I want to feel the energy of my BLJ-ish from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Like that?
Do you think there's anybody that cares dramatically about this? That thinks this is a huge mistake?
No. In Memphis? No.
No, I'm talking about people that really care about the Grizzlies or watch us all the time.
No.
You still think this is a big mistake?
There's probably a lot of people outside. There's certainly a lot of people outside
a lot of my
that think
friends-
it's ridiculous.
A lot of my friends that work for
I
other
mean, it
teams-
is. Look, I'm totally. I always say fair is fair. If somebody else did this, I would think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I think outside
think
of
it's
Memphis,
I would think
there's
it's ridiculous. Like, if
there's a
it-
lot of people outside of Memphis that from afar think this is ridiculous.
Like, I'll give you one. If they got rid of, if it was announced this afternoon that Jamal Mosley is gone in Orlando, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, right.
Why?
Right.
You get 10 games left.
Right.
That's crazy. So it's only like within the bubble that we're in, which is knowing this team is not good.
Yeah.
We know. We know. We haven't been good in a long
No,
time.
I think for
I just got
me,
tagged. They're dancing on our graves right now. I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Who is?
We just got tagged in something.
the ops, who's like the other teams, the
we need
opponents,
that
the
get
ops.
back to happen. Grizzlies
Who's dancing on our graves?
at Daily Thunder just screenshotted. I guess they're watching the show live. How y'all doing?
Who's Daily Thunder?
They screenshotted all of our depressing faces talking about the championship.
All right, well that's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
funny.
I
But
like
no,
that.
they screenshotted Rosa holding the.
I am
You
heartened.
see it? How you doing, Daily Thunder? How you doing, dog?
That's hilarious.
That's kind of funny.
That is funny.
I'm like holding my eyebrow.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
guess we trolled them enough that you deserve to
Yeah.
get one back. So
That's right.
it's all good.
You ended our coach's career.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Daily Thunder.
That's funny.
There you go.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Screenshot that.
That's funny as hell, boy.
Boy, that is hilarious.
Man.
Wow.
Shout out to Daily Thunder, man.
So, all right, Tumas, do your thing, bro.
I mean, don't you kind of think he probably? I mean, unless they just totally crap the bed here and like don't win a game, he'd be in line to be the head coach.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, because then otherwise you're looking at 2 years blowing out 2 coaching staffs.
This isn't for sure Hail Mary.
I'm just saying from the point of
I don't know if he would be the coach. I mean, look, a lot of Josh's frustration and Desmond's frustration has been the offense.
I agree.
And he was the guy that was brought to bring the offense.
But it also then
right?
looks at...
But it is kind of strange.
It is kind of strange that you're going to make the guy whose offense that you hate is going to be the...
But then this is what you would be doing. Last year you blew out Taylor's entire staff, and now you blew out Taylor... And now you're going to blow out an entire other coaching staff? That's 2 entire staffs in 2 years.
My question to you, Roger,
this is the price of expectation.
Then it does. Then it does. This is the price of expectation.
Roger, I want to ask you this.
Puts the focus on the roster building.
Do you think he can, if is Tumas going to be the one to get you the championship DVD?
I don't, no. I don't know if they're going to win that. I don't, I've got to,
We're going to win a championship, bro. It's coming.
With it? Okay.
It's going to come, bro.
That speaks to hotter, greater Grizzlies takes than we're going to right now.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Roll the ball out tomorrow, man. Let's have a good time, man.
Ball up top.
Everybody knows this.
The reset. Ball up top.
That's our playoff motto.
Look, it is what it is. Look,
Dude,
we did not feel like they were going to win these games down the stretch, and that we were worried. Like I told you on Monday, it's the first time that I even considered after the Clipper game. I said, "Oh God, are the Grizzlies going to be in the play-in?" Like I never even considered it.
Yeah,
I was like, "This is like a real thing."
Yeah.
And then earlier this week, I told you I think they need to get to 48 to be safe in the 6. And we were like, can we get to 48? And it was tough to find 4 more wins. So for that point, and we have no hope towards the playoffs. None of us did. We've talked about this. When there's not a matchup you can find that you like,
it's tough.
Like, damn, they're good too. Like, all right.
When it got to the point where it's like,
is there a way for us to play somebody not good?
Yeah, I don't.
Because that's what we need to do.
Yeah, I don't want to play.
So I mean, I'm not gonna cry over this. You know, it's a weird timing. It's a Hail Mary. It's trying something. I honestly don't care. I'm not kidding. I don't care. And I will say this: Taylor Jenkins is a great dude.
He is
great.
I think he's a really good basketball coach too.
I think he's a good basketball coach and a really great dude. But this is the way of professional sports, bro.
That's how it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Bro, he's been here 6 years. NBA coaches don't make it 6 years.
Like I said,
typically.
you've done your job, bro.
That's longer than they normally make it.
You've filled your cup up. You know
and there's nothing else. And if you're sitting there going, we have to do something to jolt this, to not just accept that it's going to be maybe in the play-in, maybe we won't even make the playoffs, maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This thing has gone dramatically downhill, and it's like, okay, we've hoped that they were going to stop the downhill trend at some point, but it hasn't happened, and so
I thought for me the point where it finally became like, all right, well, it doesn't really matter to me, I think was that Knicks game at home.
That's when it didn't matter to you? Damn, that was a month ago.
No, that's when I realized, like, if they were going to ever do this, like, I'm not going to be like, damn, this was a bad move. You know, I wasn't going to have that opinion because the end of that Knicks game was so, like...
Well,
the leaving Edie in when Brunson sets the...
That was Fox, too.
Fox,
yeah, and then Fox was the next night. But
doubling Brunson, to leaving OG open.
The play before that, though, they had Edie in, and of course, Brunson sees it, and he's like, okay, run pick and roll here. Edie steps back, and then Brunson just steps into a wide open 3.
We've talked about every single
this stuff.
I'll say this. Every single person outside of Memphis thinks this is crazy, and I am not going to tell you that it's not.
Yeah, we've been in this bubble for a lot longer than a lot of people outside.
I'm not going to tell you that it's not crazy. Yeah. I'm also not going to tell you that anybody that
we're surprised
is all. I mean, I'm surprised just because you usually wait till the offseason.
Right. I think the last time they said that this happened this late in the season to a team with like playoff, they said was 04-05. The Cavs fired Paul Silas with 18 games left in the year.
Yeah, well, I got something to show that make y'all smile. Make our chat smile. Make everybody smile because we've already seen these.
It's not your wiener.
I'm not gonna pull out my wiener
Because that would not make me smile.
Never mind. Shout out to.
What you got?
I'm gonna show y'all something.
It's a giveaway?
It's a giveaway.
What is it?
This is a Jaren Jackson Jr. Slam hoodie, bro. Look at that joint.
Wait, they're giving that away at the game?
Giving this away at the game, bro. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure I get the game right.
Are you serious?
This is for Tuesday. I'm going in backwards order. So
How many?
3,000 of these.
Wow.
3,000 of these Jaren Jackson Jr. Slam hoodies. Also, there'll be Jaren cover hoodies in the store. They're black, got the cover on the back. I already saw them. They look crazy. Tough hoodies.
Wait, they've got the Slam cover is in the store?
Slam cover hoodies going to be in there. Also,
right.
John Morant cover shirts in the store on Tuesday. This is for Tuesday. 3,000 of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Then for this on Monday, doing my job. You know what I'm saying? We got these. Show you the box. We got these watches. Look at these Grizzly watches.
Oh, it looks like
Look at them watches.
It looks like one of those Casio, what's it called? Shock G's.
It looks like G-Shocks, bro.
G-Shocks. Shock G was in Digital Underground.
The one who put the set in.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they're giving away these G-Shock Grizzly watches, bro.
Shock G.
On Monday. So y'all pull up.
All right.
5,000 of these things.
And you can see the new look Grizzlies with Tumas Isola on the side.
Yeah, what are we?
It is going to be weird that Taylor's out there.
Yeah, and
are
can
we going
we-
to have to pull that commercial about how much he loves fans?
They gotta
Can
go.
we?
They gotta go.
He said it's already gone. Jalen just said it's already
pulled
gone.
it?
Damn, dog, that was quick.
They
Can
made
we
the phone
call
call
him
this
like
morning.
Coach T or something?
What?
Are we gonna have to call him like Coach Isola?
I told you.
like, come on.
I told
Like,
you what to
it's-
call him, bro.
Tumas.
T.I., bro.
T.I.
Come on.
Let's call him
No
T.I.
urban legend. T.I. Come on, man. What
That's
you know about me?
It's motivation.
Come on, motivation. Get on
We
your
got to
job.
take a quick break because I'm going to get hold of Allen Boston.
Yeah.
We got to find out what he thinks about the Sweet 16 games tonight and tomorrow, and we'll do it on the other side. Chris Vernon Show.
In March, which is Women's History Month.
True.
And we were talking about how do we kick off the show? What can we talk about? And we were like, why don't we talk about women's shoes? The Sabrina one. Okay.
Can't go
good
wrong.
shoe. Right?
That's a good shoe.
And the two, you could argue, is even better. But the
Yeah, you
one's
can't
fine.
have the two without the one.
Yeah,
though.
in the month of February, the Sabrina 2 was the second most worn shoe in the NBA in minutes played. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock,
They knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
great camera work. By
And then the
WWE.
kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply. We had big classic news from the Southern Heritage Classic last week when it was announced Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State will be the two classic participants.
Being a part of the classic is a big deal. It's third year for UAPB and the first year for Alcorn. So
I'm just glad we were able to get it done.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grammy, Academy, and Golden Globe award-winning superstar Mary J. Blige, live in Memphis. The For My Fans Tour, live at FedEx Forum Saturday, April 19th, with special guests Neo and Mario. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The iconic Mary J. Blige for one night only.
Fake, a three, it's true for Desmond Bain. FBK, fly by King. Wheels through the lane, now spins back. Ja hangs, puts it in! Oh, what a shot by Morant in the clutch. So hot. Oh, Jenkins said no! Because he doesn't put on a play, comes up with a monster block.
Welcome back to the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, back to your host, Chris Vernon.
Outside with the G's and the homies. OG fresh out ducking the police. White t-shirt, locs on, riding dirty. Trick, don't talk to me when I'm counting up money. Yeah, west side, east side, it's active. I just stepped in the party, what's cracking? I just seen the enemies, but they laugh. Yeah, we really with the business, they don't want no action. Bounce, rock, slide, throw it in the sky. If you from one side, we throw your W's up and represent. Bounce, rock, slide, throw it in the sky. If you from one side, we throw your W's up and represent. A party ain't a party if the G's ain't there. Gangsta walking, blowing smoke in the air. If the homies take your girlfriend, you better not trip. If you do get a busted lip, all we do every day is get paid. If you disrespect, do run a fade. Yeah, if we catch you at a bounds, it ain't safe. Yeah, little homie, keep the heat in his waist. Stupid. Bounce, rock, slide, throw it in the sky. If you from one side, we throw your W's up and represent. Bounce, rock, slide, throw it in the sky. If you from one side.
All right, we're back. Chris Vernon Show. Alan Boston's our favorite college basketball wise guy. What the hell are you wearing, Roser? What are you wearing? What?
Oh, it's Big Orange Day, baby.
Oh, my God. What does your hat say?
Let's go, Vols.
Oh, my God. John
Feels like 98, baby.
Feels like 98. What is this? What is this? You're a Memphis guy.
Oh, please. Please. Tonight, it's about the flagship.
Oh, my God.
It's about the flagship.
This is gross. Our favorite college basketball wise guy in the world is Alan Boston. Made us a fortune last night on Florida. Good call by you, Alan.
Well, if you give enough picks out, one of them stumbles in once in a while, right?
That was the one you loved the most, and so that's the one we put the most on.
Yeah, no, but it was good. It was a good bet. If the kid didn't get hurt in the first half, it probably would have been really easy, actually.
Arizona was a good bet too.
Yep, and so wasn't Alabama, who I kind of leaned to. So the under, however, but I thought there was some chance that BYU, who would make it a half-court game, even though that's totally not their style. I thought that was their best chance at winning, and clearly it would have been better than the approach they took. So,
all right,
I didn't think they want to get into some, shootout with Alabama. When you're the underdog, you got to make the other side uncomfortable somehow.
I got you.
Playing an elite game, and when you're playing a real high possession game and you're the second best team, it's just not a recipe for winning. So BYU just went with their strengths, but I thought the reason the under I thought had a chance was A, both teams are very used to the style, and I thought they might be able to defend it a little better than they did, and B, I thought there was some chance that BYU would slow the game down.
Let's go through these games one by one. We got, all right, let's start with the first game of the night is Michigan State versus Ole Miss. Looks like the line is like 3.5.
Yeah, it's about what it is. I hope you noticed that I actually have a normal shirt on today, so we don't have to get into the flexing routines. I try. What are we talking about? Yeah.
Ole Miss, Michigan State, and it's a 3.5-point line.
All right, so I'll try to be a little clearer about what I mean by these numbers and everything. So my number on the game is when I subtract by 2 power ratings, I come up with Michigan State 2.5. That's what I think the line should be. So if the line was 4.5, or if the line was pick, I would bet it. I would bet the dog at 4.5, and I would lay pick with Michigan State, or maybe lay $1.20 or something. So that's what the number is. What I base my bet on. However, there's also are you comfortable with that number, or do you think there's some reason why the number is wrong? And if anything, when I talk about the range of numbers that teams play to, that's my number, ultimately what it is. Both these teams are at their high end of what they would play to. So if anything, both teams may want to go down a little bit. However, I think based on Mississippi's play the last 2 games, they were phenomenal. I mean, they had North Carolina buried, and they buried Iowa State, who by the way, had Auburn 19 down in Hawaii. So Iowa State's a real deal team. So I've been far more impressed with Mississippi than Michigan State, who actually struggled with Bryant for a while. And I don't remember the second game. It was I'd have to cheat. Who'd they beat?
Who? Michigan State?
Yeah. Oh, on Mexico, right. They were life and death with New Mexico, right.
New Mexico, 71-63.
They've hardly been impressive, Michigan State. And if you go back to their pre-conference, and the reason I always mention pre-conference is that's what these games mirror the most. They're not playing teams in conference, they're playing teams out of conference. So I check how they did out of conference to maybe get a better idea of who they are. And Michigan State out of conference played in that in Hawaii and lost to Memphis, and had to play North Carolina to overtime. Neither one of those games looked very good. They also lost to Kansas on a neutral, which also doesn't look great. So if anything, maybe Michigan State got a tad overrated with their playing in a kind of a weakish type league. And maybe Mississippi, who did play well in the pre-conference, they played Purdue to the wire after they beat BYU in overtime. A better resume pre-conference, and maybe with Chris Beard only being in his second year there, maybe the team has a much bigger upside to go to. They certainly have played like it the last 2 games. So I definitely lean to Mississippi. That's what I'm saying. My number is 2.5, so it's no bet off my number. But if anything, I think the line could be a smidge lower because Michigan State has not been all that impressive either in this tournament or in the pre-conference, which I think is the most relevant.
You're not betting it though.
I'm not betting it, but if it went to 4, I would definitely take a bite on it.
All right, Tennessee has lost to Kentucky already a couple of times, and now they are laying 4.5 against Kentucky in a rematch of these 2 SEC foes. What are we thinking on Tennessee, Kentucky?
Why not a third? My number's 2.5, so I'm definitely betting Kentucky. And I noticed who's coaching, so I don't have to say much more than that. I never. I mean, I don't think Rick Barnes is is the dredges, but I don't think he's a genius either. And when they lost at home to Kentucky, Kentucky was completely beat to shit. Like there were several guys out or injured, and they won rather easily in Tennessee. Now the rematch I talked about yesterday, how a team that loses at home like Arizona playing Duke tends to have an advantage in a rematch, and Tennessee they bet Tennessee up that game to like 3.5 at Kentucky, and I think they trailed the whole way in that game too. Nothing's really changed. There's no reason to think that Tennessee is going to find some magic formula to figure all this out. And if anything, the person who will make the better adjustments is Mark Pope for sure. So I will be betting Kentucky. Not big, but I will be betting Kentucky.
Do you feel the same way after seeing these overalls that Roser is wearing?
I am extremely jealous that anyone has the balls to dress like that. I didn't know he was a Tennessee cheerleader, but I guess anything goes nowadays, right?
It is. It's 2025, Alan.
Yeah. 2025.
It's 2025, Alan.
This is Tennessee butt plug, Alan.
They're called yell leaders.
Go Vols.
Is that feels like 98, like because it's 105 degrees out there and there's low humidity, or it's 90 degrees?
No, that's the last time they won a national championship in football.
Yeah, feels like 98.
Isn't this basketball we're talking about?
It doesn't matter, Alan. Doesn't matter.
All right, so you like Kentucky. All right.
Is winning the basketball championship.
Huh?
That's not some profound statement, but they're not winning this.
Fair enough. Auburn, Michigan. Auburn, I saw an article this morning saying they are the least bet team, Auburn, at BetMGM, but they are laying 8.5 against Michigan.
My number is 8. Any reason why it's wrong? Probably not. But if we check the pre-conference, we don't have to talk about Auburn. They just bludgeoned everybody. Their only loss was at Duke, which was a very competitive game, which obviously turns out to be a very good game. They were 19 down to Iowa State in the first round of the Maui, but then beat North Carolina and Memphis rather handily. The North Carolina win clearly doesn't mean shit, but the Memphis game, I still contend that Memphis was a good team. They happened to get another bad draw because Colorado State was playing lights out. And you saw Colorado State in the next game. They were fantastic and should have beaten Maryland. So Auburn was the best team in the country for a long while, and they leveled off a little bit. And again, if you talk about their range of numbers, they're at the absolute peak. The only way to go is down. And I would have maybe suspected that they may have dropped a little bit when this tournament came, but. The Creighton team they played was experienced in this tournament, very good, shot the lights out in the first half, and they overcame all that by playing an excellent second half. So Auburn clearly is maintaining that high level of that they executed pre-conference. Whereas Michigan, I talked about how the coach thought that the team was worn down and started using his freshmen a little more the last game of the year, and then they had the 6 days off, and they won 3 days in a row in the conference tournament and have been impressive in their wins in the NCAA tournament. Even though they were fortunate to beat Cal San Diego, and the refs may have helped them out a little bit, and Cal San Diego's best player barely played, and he fouled out with like no points, and they were 8 for 30 from three-point land, or 8. They had some real bad shooting day. In spite of that, they were very good the next round, Michigan, and the coach is excellent, but it feels like they might be like completely outmanned here. And
this feels a little like Florida, Maryland to me.
Yeah, that's probably a good parallel. That's probably a good parallel, except I think Maryland's more athletic than Michigan. But Michigan's better coach for sure. And also Michigan pre-conference, they lost to Oklahoma, they lost to Arkansas, they had another loss that wasn't very good in there either. So clearly their stuff is defendable. Unlike Florida Atlantic last year, who was very hard to defend for non-conference teams. Clearly people have been able to handle whatever Michigan's thrown at them. So I would, even though my number is right there, my instinct is that Auburn will run them out of the gym.
All right.
I'm not betting it, by the way.
You're not betting it.
I did not bet Texas Tech last night either, despite what may have been mentioned on the show after. I just said if I put a gun to my head because it was McCaslin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Houston, 8.5 against Purdue.
Okay, so my number in this game is only 6.5. So, auto bet Purdue? I don't know. I don't think so. As you saw with Gonzaga, it took time to get comfortable with Houston's defense, which is, all that blitzing of ball screens and just the intensity that they come at you with, and their approach to defending is definitely better than what everyone else does. Whatever it is, I'm not a scout, but I know it's called blitzing ball screens when you double it. When Gonzaga finally got comfortable playing against that, they got back in the game and held their own. In fact, maybe actually outscored them. Now, Gonzaga is better than Purdue. That's the problem. And although the kid for Purdue is he might be player of the year, the guard, the rest of the team is not overly athletic. And you need athleticism to handle Houston's defense. And although this number is high, Houston definitely has the ability just to run teams out. I mean, they've been ahead 20-0 like 5 minutes into games several times. Granted, Purdue is better than some of the teams they're facing, but I don't know. It just feels like Purdue has no way to solve what Houston's going to do. Because I just don't think they'll be able to get into their half-court game and execute it. Because Houston
this sounds like a stay away.
Yeah, it's a stay away. In my opinion, the number's too high, and typically I would bet off my number. I would play 2 points off the number, but I don't know. I mean, visually, I don't see how Purdue can hang with them. And so that's it. And on Saturday, Alabama +7, big.
So it looks like, both lines are right around 6.5, 7. Florida, Texas Tech, and Bama, and
yeah,
Duke.
I made Florida 6.5, so I'm staying away from that. But I only made Duke 3, so I'm all in.
You are all in on Bama.
Why not? And then you just don't watch the game because the refereeing in these games is just, what's a travel? What's a foul? I know none of it. I do know that Duke gets away with more than the other teams.
So you think Bama is your favorite one of? All right. So let me just line this out.
So we went over, yes. I think you're in a rush, so I'd rush through the Bama Duke thing. I mean, what did Bama do wrong last night? Yeah, they were a little sloppy at times, but again, all that helter skelter stuff, it's all done with a lot of intent, a lot of good intent. And if they take a bad shot here and there, it's really not a bad shot. It's just to get the team in a helter-skelter game. And you would think because Duke's more athletic than them that they would revel in some helter-skelter game. But if they get trapped into playing that game, Duke ain't winning.
I've never seen a game like that. I don't know how many people saw this last night. Alabama took 66 shots. 66 shots in the game. 51 of them were threes.
Yeah, they had that blurb where the guy made the mid-range jumper, and they said, well, that's the first one, and it's the second one the entire tournament.
51 threes, bro, in a college game. Unbelievable.
You should take 66 threes. It's the dumbest rule ever invented, the three-point shot. It's
unbelievable. All right, so
completely ruined the game.
Okay, so for tonight, you like Kentucky. Tomorrow, you love Bama. Do I have that right?
You have that right, yes.
And
I have no other opinions. Maybe I'll do some live betting or something, and I don't know. It's
Bama's the biggest bet of the weekend for you.
Yes, and it's very unusual. I mean, we're talking this, there's this Vegas Crown tournament coming up, but there's 15 games left in the whole season to bet on. Yeah. And I have a game 3 that's 7. That just never happens. Yes, I was leaning to Alabama last night. In fact, I bet a little bet on them, and I was against Duke last night. So my numbers are obviously tilted a little high to Alabama and a little low to Duke, but not this much. And Alabama's style on a one-day prep is not that easy to defend. Like you watched, BYU, who's comfortable playing that, couldn't stop them.
I'll tell you this.
Duke's an elite team, and I'm sure the refs will help them out because
there ain't no help. If that Sears kid from Alabama plays like that, nobody's beating them. Nobody. Not it was extreme, but he was unbelievable.
They had another guard. There was that lefty guard too, who's got a sweet stroke too, who's arming. They all were.
No,
they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they are fun to watch. The
rebounding was a bit of an issue, and against Duke that might be a problem. But again, I don't look at matchups. The number should be
Yep.
You know, maybe I'm a little too low. Maybe it should be 4, but I can't see it more than 4. Maybe 4.5. It's Duke, Alabama. I mean, what has Alabama done wrong? They beat Houston on a neutral court early in the year.
Yep.
You know, they won in Auburn late in the year, the last game of the year. They're a very, very good team. And their non-conference games are very, very good because their style is unique and difficult to prepare for. There's no one in the ACC that plays like that. I think Alabama's a good chance to beat them. I really do.
Fair enough. I picked that in my bracket, so I hope you're right.
I
Alan?
hope so, too. I have them to go all the way on a future bet. So, unfortunately, my other two are Florida and Texas Tech, who are playing each other. But at least it's Texas Tech. Good job, John Calipari.
Alan, we'll catch up with you next week. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, be good.
All right, man. Alan Boston, our favorite college basketball wise guy.
I got some news for you. Well, not really news. Very we already kind of talked about this. But T.I., the real T.I., what you know about me.
Tumas
Isola. He's been named the interim coach for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well,
get on your job.
Mark that one up for El Verno Diablo.
I mean, that wasn't really like going out on a limb.
Yeah, that was.
It was a massive limb I went out on.
That was a very skinny limb. Very skinny limb you went out on.
Unbelievable prediction by El Verno Diablo.
That limb.
Once again, Verno, you've done it again.
That's a
that limb
stick
was like
on the
about
ground.
Shut your orange checkerboard ass up.
Yeah, I've already got a text about you, Roser.
You're disgusting.
Somebody texted me and said, "Don't come home."
Yeah, you're
She said, "Don't come home wearing that."
That's right. Oh,
Jennifer spoken. Yeah. Jennifer said, "Don't."
Oh, look, he's already taking it off.
Now.
Look, you wimp.
She said, "Don't come home."
You friggin' beta. Oh my God. Not John Reb.
Oh, now you want to change.
Oh, this
Jennifer
guy.
said, "Don't come home unless you put the hoodie on."
You're gross, Roser. Gross. Your checkerboard.
You put it on?
Okay. So, look, I'll say what you guys are scared to say. Amazing prediction by Chris Vernon. Once again, you've done it again. Against all odds, you picked the next head coach. No one would have believed that Tumas was going to be the guy, but you called it, Verno.
No.
So I'll say what you guys won't say. Sometimes you just got to praise yourself.
All right, does this make you think? Okay.
Uh-oh, see?
Last
I
9
would say
games.
this.
He put my feet to the fire.
Feet to fire.
Feet to fire.
Last 9 games record. Name it. Last 9 games. What's
Okay.
the record?
All right, hold on. All right.
8-1.
No. You just rattle them off.
Lakers.
Huh?
Lakers.
Yeah.
All right, give them to me as 9.
Lakers, Celtics, Warriors.
Okay, so one of those 3.
Okay, so we're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He said, the man said, give it to me as
At
9.
Miami, at Detroit, at Charlotte.
2 of those 3.
Versus Minnesota, at Denver, versus Dallas.
2 of those 3. Yes.
I'll say 1.5 of those 3.
You can't.
I just did.
You can't.
You can't. It's
Yes,
not,
you
you don't
can.
get.
What do you mean? What do you
There's
mean?
no
get
half
half a
wins
win.
in the NBA.
Oh, Las Vegas.
Yeah, Roser. They put odds up as halves.
Not allowed to bet on that.
Oh, you're right.
By the way, Alabama, it's 7.5.
You're right. You can't.
I
bet
took
on
it.
the NBA.
Okay,
You're right.
cool story, Roser. All right, I'll go with him. I'll go with him and say 2 or 3.
2 or 3. So how many wins is that?
That's
math
5,
guy.
That's 5 and 4.
5 and 4 would put us at 49 wins.
I was probably going to think
You're
2.
safe.
I would say if they did have Taylor,
Let's
I think
do
we're probably
48.
looking at like 2 and 7. I mean,
That gets to your 48 that we're talking about.
Nah, it'd be 49.
Yeah, that gets you 1 above, which is, I mean, that's glass.
I
half.
think I'm probably
3
right
fourths
at.
fulls.
I think you're either going 5 and 4 or 4 and 5.
Yeah.
if they go 8 and 1, people are going to be like, "Why didn't you do this earlier?"
I swear, I will.
I don't think that will be the sentiment. I don't. I think it will be like, oh my. Now
we go 8-1 All Street down Bill Street.
If we go 1 and 8, though,
pause, Dev. You be careful with that.
If we go 1 and 8, it's a disaster.
It's.
Oh yeah, ceiling's my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then
I will say this: there's not one person from out of town that has texted me that does not think this is insane. But again, we're watching every single game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
we're taking
understand
a lot of Grizzly
this
basketball.
and this is just do you want to accept you're not winning anything?
Right.
Or do you not want to accept you're not winning anything? And right now, we were the ones that are sitting here every day going, are we going to get to acceptance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
not fun.
obviously, there is a front office that refuses to get to the point that we got to. We got to acceptance, which is, okay, this is just not the year.
Yeah.
Or like they kind of had to make a step. It's like, yo, we can't. We got.
They don't want to accept that you're just going to get thrown to the wolves and lose in the playoffs and the season's over. Yeah. So they're trying to do something to stop that from happening. And we will find out if that is just an inevitability or if that a coaching change can change what we all feel is, look, we all have the same feeling of what the outcome's going to be, which is we can't beat anybody in the playoffs because we have no evidence to suggest we can beat anybody good.
Yeah.
And you have to play somebody good in the playoffs. And I think the other thing is there's probably a very real fear that you're going to play, that you could play so poorly the rest of the way. If it went the way it has for 2.5 months, you may not be in the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Because of the schedule.
Yeah.
So you're trying to jolt it. And I think they kept on hoping he would jolt it or that something would change. And it just hasn't.
Man.
So they're trying to shock to the system. We will see if it works out or not. I don't think, I don't know. It's crazy. It's odd. But I also don't. I'm non-pulsed about it, honestly. I think he's a great dude.
Yeah.
I think he's a good basketball coach.
Yeah.
I also think this thing was going nowhere as it was constructed, and there's nothing else you can do.
As what?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
It's currently
constructed. Don't let him be right. Come on, bro.
And by the way,
that means he's right.
Yeah, of course.
What are you talking about?
I'm right a lot. You just don't want to give me credit for it. But
I'm
right.
the one that told you who the new head coach was going to be. Against all odds. While the whole world was betting against me.
Odds.
While no one believed in me.
World?
Like, literally nobody believed in me.
Who is
And then I
nobody?
did, huh?
Who is nobody?
You two.
Not you two.
Go Vols.
Especially this limp dick over there
Yeah,
with
right.
with the
Johnny
with the-
Limp Dick.
Yeah.
Johnny Limp Dick in those overalls.
Language.
Yeah. You with the checkerboard overalls.
Yep.
These are manly. These are manly.
Mr. LD himself.
These are manly.
You're LD.
I am bricked.
Beta male.
You are not bricked.
I am bricked.
Beta male.
I hope you're not bricked to somebody else's
Beta
overalls.
roser.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Real men wear overalls.
Right. If we beat the Lakers tomorrow night, we're putting a statue up for Tumas Haisala or whatever his
I need
name
some.
is.
See, Taylor Jenkins was a lot easier to say.
I told you to
easier.
say T.I., bro. I gave you the blueprint. T.I.
T.I., fine.
There you go. Stop trying to see all these letters.
I hope
words.
John Morant plays tomorrow night. I bet he does.
Yeah.
I bet it's one of those, rally the troops. Hey.
I got you guys.
Yeah.
What if they do
And plus Dez and Jaren are calling him bruh.
Bro, we gotta do something. What if they do the thing out of the tunnel? They do the thing that Penn State does. You hold arms.
Low key, that's the thing that's slipping away is Jaren's all NBA. That was going in the toilet.
This Joker's got about $150 million on the line in these last 9 games.
Yeah, he does.
He called Dez and was like, look, bro, we gotta do something.
They start balling out. You ball if Jaren has a monster game against the Lakers and they win,
no, he better.
It's gonna help a ton.
I know.
I need
John
John
Morant. He needs to have a
going to
big
the
game
toilet.
tomorrow night. That's sure. Or else the next magazine cover he's going to be on is Cat Fancy.
Is that a magazine?
What's wrong with this dude? What's wrong with this dude? What's wrong with this dude, man? This man right here, bro.
All right.
Hey, by the way, I need John to have the same conversation that Dez has with him. Remember who you are.
I need to
You're
have the
Desmond
same.
Bain.
I need to have the same conversation that Santi tried to have
No, we don't need that. They almost fought
when
each other.
Santi got leveled.
And then he went 1 for 12.
Yeah. You can't go
You
1
can't
for
push
12 after
somebody
pushing
to-
Santi
yeah,
Aldama.
yeah.
Come on, Des.
That's tough. Coach Prime got a new deal.
Damn right he did.
5 years, $54 million.
Talk about
from the
bricked up.
University of Colorado.
Talk about bricked up.
Let's go do it for today's show. We wish you all the best, Taylor Jenkins. You're a great dude.
No,
You're a
for
great
real.
dude.
Great
Forget
dude,
basketball.
man.
Great guy. Was always good to us.
real,
And I'm
for
going to
real.
miss him being around because I think he's a really good person. I do.
In the community.
He's a really good person, and I think he cares deeply about this organization, and I think he cares deeply about those guys, and I wish it would have been different. I do. I do. But it is what it is, and this is professional sports, and it's the part that sucks. And you are a disgrace.
You are ugly.
Frankly,
you
a
are
disgrace. Look
ugly
at him.
as hell. Look at this
him.
dude.
Look at him.
You look like you get
My
no.
God.
You look like a Tennessee fan for real.
Seriously, he looks like Elmer Fudd.
You get no hose.
All right. We'll be back
Get all the
tomorrow.
hose.
Until then, oh, we're not back tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. Hey, watch the game tomorrow night. It's going to be amazing. Grizzlies, Lakers. Until then, we gone.